Hello everyone, welcome to another Photoshop tutorial where today we're going to be taking a look at creating our very own Twitch pre-roll graphic. So let's just jump straight into it and let's see what we can create. So we're going to start by making a new document that's 1920 by 1080 pixels in size. And I'm going to make a nice little background as our base. So I've got this nice gradient here, I'm going to drag and drop in and I'm going to scale it up to the size of our document. And just to show you what colors I'm using here, I'm going to go into the gradient here and open it up, and we've got this color here for the dark, and we've got this color here for the light. So let's cancel out of that. Let's go back on there. So first let's start by adding some nice text to it. So we're going to go stream. Another one. Starting. And then soon. And for this I'm using the font Eurostyle extended. You can get this off of the Adobe's font website, which I can show you here. Just search for Eurostyle and it'll show up and you can activate it if you've got an active subscription. So with that selected we can start arranging these a little bit nicer than this. Nice big. Just 5 for that. Do the same for that one. And to make it look a bit nicer, we'll change this down to regular. We'll halve this size and we'll increase the letter spacing by, let's do 600. That's fine. Take all our layers, center them up, get rid of some of this mess, and we'll align them nicely. And we'll change the colors to make them a little bit nicer. Color there, and white, and we'll make that one. For this one here, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to draw a nice little box around it, make that a solid color. Just click OK, because we're going to get our green color here, and we're going to grab our scene text. We're going to make it above that. We're going to double click on it. We're going to change its color to the background, just so it matches in quite nicely. And then we're going to control click on our mask layer here, and then we're just going to center it up to make sure it's nice and even. And we're going to take all our layers again, make sure they're still centered, and group them together. Call it stream text, and then we can center it up to our document. One thing I want to do is just move this down a little bit, and that looks fine. So next up we want to add some nice textured background to this to make it look a little bit more visually interesting. To do this, we're going to add a new layer. We're going to make sure that we've got black as our foreground color and white as our background, and then we're going to go to filter, render, clouds, and then we're going to go to filter, pixelate, and mosaic. And this is going to give us a nice big chunky pixelated background, which we can increase for size or decrease however you want. But I'm going to keep mine relatively big. And then we're just going to set the blend mode there to soft light. And to finish off the effect, we're going to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and we're just going to add some nice blur to that. I'll reduce the opacity just a little bit. And that just gives the background something a bit more visually interesting to look at. To add to this effect, we're going to add a nice little pan to the background as well. And to do that, we need to get out the rectangle tool. And we're going to make a nice little rectangle by holding down Shift and dragging out. We're going to fill it with white. And we're going to get rid of the stroke. And then all we're going to do is we're going to copy out another layer by holding Alt and dragging. And we're going to save that one, Alt and dragging into the corners. And we're going to select these two outer ones. And we're going to reduce the opacity to 0, and then we're going to select all 3 layers, and we're going to come over to our libraries panel here. We're going to hit this button here, And we're going to create an image, and this is going to create a pattern for us based on what we just selected. So let's make this a bit bigger so you can see it, and then we can make this nice and small, and you can see it creates a nice little pattern for us, and we can go up here and we can change how the pattern forms basically. And you can got lots of options here to play around with, and it can be quite fun to jump in here and throw some shapes in and see what you can come up with. But for this, we're going to be selecting this one over here. We're going to be reducing its size down to small scale, and we're going to save it to our library. And then it's going to show up here. So then it's just a case of deleting these layers and just clicking on our layer. And then reducing the scale down to 1. 1.5, 2. Yeah, I think it looks better. So if we zoom in, we can see what it's doing here. It's created a nice pattern around our entire document. I might want to reduce the opacity just a little bit. So to further add to this effect, we're going to add some nice little stream details. We're going to first group all this, put our background layer together. Background, just so we keep everything nice and tidy. And then we're going to create a new layer. We're going to get our polygon lasso tool. We're going to press Ctrl R to bring up our rulers, and we're going to drag out a ruler in the center of the screen, just pulling it down until it snaps. And then I'm going to click another one here, and another one here, just so we can snap to something. I'm going to click at this corner here, hold down Shift, and click again, and click, another click, and bring it up here. And then go to adjustment layers, hit solid color, make it a nice white, and then copy and paste this over to the other side of the document. And then to add to this, we're going to add a nice little nice orange line going down here. Using the same thing, this time we're using the rectangular selection tool. Dragging out a nice little thin rectangle, adding another solid color, and this time we're going to make it orange. And actually I kind of want to make that a little bit thinner, so we're just going to hit Ctrl T and hold down Shift and bring that in just a little bit. There we go, that looks good. Let's get rid of our rulers and copy and paste that over. Lovely. So I'll add some more details to that again. I'm going to get my type tool out. Make it nice and big. Click on that, and we're just going to have some forward slashes in there. Make that white. Keep it regular thickness, and just rotate that. And fit them in here. Just add in some nice, like almost like sci-fi graphical elements. Can increase the size of this, the spacing is a smidge, and copy it down to here as well. There we go. So it's starting to build up a nice little theme going on here. And we'll put these into their own layers as well, and we call these side elements, just to keep everything nice and tidy. So what I want to do is bring up the stream text just a little bit, so we can add in some more elements, like our social media and our streaming time. So I'll grab this layer here, and I'll copy it down, and I'm grabbing by holding down Alt and right clicking on the actual layer, and then I'm pressing Alt to drag out a copy. So that's liquid. Bring this out of the group and start adding our social media feed. So we'll do Twitter first. I'll reset the sizing of this and make it white. Make it white, and we'll halve the size of that. Yeah, actually make it a little bit bigger. And actually might add some spacing back into it, so 200 would be fine. Yeah, that looks good. And then we'll add just some social media feed information. And we'll make that bold. And I think we'll change the color of that to our orange. Just grab that color. Okay. Do that. Grab that again. There we go. And we'll reduce the size of that just so we can fit some more in. Copy that out. To YouTube. Put a / in there instead. We'll do it again. This time do it for, we'll say, Instagram. Put the @ sign back in there. Clean up our little work area here. And we will make sure they're all vertically aligned and make sure they're all evenly spaced. And then we'll group these up and we'll do social media elements. So the next thing planned is the stream days. So again, we're going to take this layer here, drag it down, and we're just going to do stream days. Select it all, make it black, and I think for this we'll actually get rid of the spacing. And we'll select the days and make it have a nice green color there. And then we'll have another one. We align that, justify that to the right. And then we'll add in our times, which we'll just do 10 AM until 8 PM. 8 PM. That's more spacing between that. We'll change the colors of the times. Just to add some contrast there. We'll make sure that these are aligned. Get my snapping back up. Make sure these are aligned as well. Get rid of these rulers because we don't need them anymore. And let's add some little tabs here for the days. So bring out another box. We'll do a solid color. Apply our green to it. And we'll just copy out some days. Drag another one. Might look a bit messy for a second, but it's not going to matter too much because we're going to reduce the size and then we're just going to hit this button here and it'll align them all for us. Actually, I'm going to put that in there just to make sure that it's all nice and in line. And then we're going to add some days to this. So let's do Monday. Let's bring that down there. Let's increase the size of it. Change the color to the nice blue background we got going on. And make sure they're aligned with the layer. We're just going to do this now for every single day. Okay, there we go. So now say obviously you're not going to be streaming every day, so we'll turn off 2 of these days. We'll do Tuesday, so we're going to remove the fill from that. We're going to right click on it, go to blending options, and we'll do stroke. We'll give it a nice stroke color of the green. Set its blend mode to normal. And we'll change the text color to a grey. And then we'll do the same to the Thursday, so we'll just copy the layer effects of that layer. We'll select our Thursday layer, and let's paste it. Select our Thursday, and then we'll just select the nice grey again. And coming close to the end now, we'll just add our logo into it. Size it up. Make sure it's nice and centered. We'll give it a little touch of, just a little highlight. Nothing too crazy. And let me tidy up our layers here so we know what we're selecting. Select one of these layers here. Group them up. I'll do a streaming time. And then we'll just tidy everything up. Make that a little bit bigger. Move our social media up a little bit. And move our stream days up just a little bit. And there we have it. Now to finish this off, all we're going to do is we're going to add a nice noise layer and we're going to sharpen it up. So to do that, we're going to make a new layer. We're going to fill it with black. We're going to go to filter, noise, add noise. About 6% is fine. And then we're going to go to linear dodge add. We're going to do Control, Alt, Shift and E, which is going to make a copy of all the layers and paste them into a new one at the top of the document. And then we're going to go to filter, other, high pass. And we're going to do a radius of 0.5. And then we're going to go to hard light. Yes, hard light looks pretty good. We'll zoom in. And we're going to turn our noise layer off because it's going to be a bit too harsh. And you can see that it's just going to sharpen everything up and make it a nice sort of like HD quality. And there you have it. It's a nice, relatively simple, easy to do Twitch pre-roll that you can make yourself using just nice fonts, basic shapes, and a few blending options. So I hope you enjoyed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to include a nice little download link to this file if you want to use it and edit it yourself. And if you like the way you saw it, please like, comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I look forward to seeing you the next time.